global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happiness. Today we have two news to render. This is quite disheartening. The first one has to do with the fact that China may be looking at a lot of things. Remember, Nigeria is heavily indebted to a lot of countries, particularly in China. And maybe Nigerians should start getting ready to start getting their names in case things don't go well. That's why we need the likes of Tr0uble, who had a lot of economic knowledge on how to transfer some of these things. Of course, Ameachi have decided to tell Nigerians this about Tr0uble, that look, if we miss it, God has sent Tr0uble to save Nigerians from suffering. And if we miss it, then we have no other person to blame. Let's find out exactly what may be the fate of Nigeria with the level of indebtedness we have in our coffers and what we stand to lose. And of course, what Amechi is telling Nigeria. Let's go straight into the news of the day. Many countries around the world which are indebted to China are at the risk of debt default, including Laos, a South Asian nation. The country is said to be hoping for a debt relief bailout or forgiveness from China, its main creditor. Nigeria reported that its debt servicing has surpassed revenue and made debt in debt servicing to China. Laos is a southeastern African country, is on the cusp of defaulting on its loans to China after it obtained a loan to build a high-speed train, which gave momentum for more debt drafts. According to reports, there is no way the country can get a bailout or debt forgiveness as it faces increasing economic and financial crisis. Just like Laos, like Nigeria as well, there's a debate as to the extent amount the country is owing China. The World Bank report said that the country is owing about $14.5 billion. A data puts Laos debt at about $12.2 billion. Nigeria own is even higher. According to Harvard Business Review, China has lent over $1.5 trillion to over 150 countries around the world since 2020, Nigeria inclusive. A recent report says that Nigerian government report a budget deficit and said its debt servicing has surpassed revenue, which puts Africa's largest economy in the dangers of debt default as it battles a revenue crunch. Report has it that the Nigerian government retained revenue at 310 billion naira in the first 4 months of this year, according to the 2022 Fiscal Performance Report, which was released on Thursday, July 21st, 2022. Nigeria may even go broke as revenue dwindles. The report puts the federal government's total revenue at 1.63 trillion naira and the debt servicing at 1.934 trillion naira for the period under review. According to Zainab Ahmed, Nigeria's Minister of Budget and National Planning, urgent action requires to address revenue abysmal performance and expenditure at all levels. Ahmed said, and I quote, the actual spending as of April 31st was 4.72 trillion naira. Of this amount, 1.94 trillion naira was for debt service, and 1.26 trillion naira was for personal costs, including pensions. Analysts said that the potent danger for Africa's most populous country, as it has to borrow more money to finance its debt and further deepen the country's economic woes. Nigeria spends about 896.56 billion naira on debt servicing in 3 months alone. Report has it that in 3 months, Nigerian government has spent a whopping 896.56 billion naira on debt servicing, according to the debt management office (DMO). This has led the country to spend 3.83 trillion naira on debt repayment in 15 months, a DMO data says. Report also have it that 2.93 trillion naira was spent on servicing debt in 2021, meaning a 109% increase in comparison to 2022. We are in trouble. Honestly, all these people rushing in to say they want to become Nigerian government, what do they have in stock for Nigeria? Are they going to sell us totally? We need somebody who has economic knowledge on this, so I can say we can even be paying this debt. Honestly, I'm scared. Let it not be that we are looking at chin right now, because debt default means all our infrastructures are going. But let's find out exactly what Bazurike is telling Nigerians. Then we look at the situation we are in as Nigerians, where we are right now. Amechi stated this on Thursday that presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Tr0uble, is sent by God to save Nigerians from suffering. He stated this in his Okpa home in Nnewi South local government area of Anambra State. He stated that the emergence of Obi and his running mate Dati Baba Ahmed has afforded Nigerians the chance to save and rescue the country from total collapse. The other statement added that the nation has been economically and politically ruined for many years and has been sunk into catacomb of corruption, looting, and religious tribal bigotry. He also accused the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and All Progressive Congress (APC) of being insensitive to the plight and needs of Nigerians in the selection of their presidential candidate. And running mate Ameachi accused PDP of playing smart by half in selecting his flag bearers, while APC presented an expired drug to heal a patient that is near coma. He said PDP acted without wisdom and foresight and threw away the principle of equity and balance in selecting a northern candidate who may be capable but is not his term, and selecting a running mate exhibiting cleverness by half. APC paid deaf ears to the cry of the nation. They suicidally fielded a mono-religious flag bearers to rule a multi-religious nation. On the coming presidential election, I'm no longer a politician, but I cannot keep dumb when I see the country, which I gave my whole youth and blood to, co-found being pushed to an irretrievable pit of disintegration and anarchy. Since the operation of military imposed constitution in 1999, two major political parties have ruled the country. They are PDP and APC. In their preparation for 2023 presidential election, both parties have goofed in their selection of their presidential candidates and their running mates. Since they are ruling the country in 1999, the nation has sunk into stinking catacomb of corruption, looting, and religious tribal bigotry. All right, you have heard what Mbazulike Amechi has said. Let's look at the situation we found ourselves in. Let's tell ourselves the truth, the way it is. If we continue in this light, we don't have any money anywhere. Where we're getting the money from is still our revenue, which these politicians are looting every day. All right, we need somebody who would block all loopholes of any form of stealing. See how we can use the monies we have as revenue to service the debt. Borrow some more money. We have to borrow. That's the bitter truth. Borrow some more money. Invest on something that we can use to gain more monies to offset the debt. What I mean is borrow some more money, do some sort of security checks, make sure that Boko Haram and the rest are on barest minimum. All right, curb all corruption. Now all our revenue generating agencies, make sure you block all leakages of income so that those incomes can be used to service loan. And the issue of farming, oil production, oil palm export, all form of export should be encouraged, and importation should be discouraged as much as we can, so that we can have a high GDP, so that we can also have in a lot of export, in a lot of forex, so that we can at the same time see how we can play down, reduce and value for our naira. Every form of debt services, we can use our export to service some of them, so that we can at least, we have 30 years, God have mercy, we're in trouble. Oh. Honestly, we need a fast thinker, an economic thinker to go in that. This is not time to play tribal politics. It's the time for, it's either we make it in 2023 or we are gone, we are done for. Prepare your name as a Shinshanshin. Either which way, we get it wrong. Let's meet in our comment section.